way. He's an extraordinary young man. And with all of the fuss about Josh Rock and Gian van Veen and Luke Littler, do not dare forget about Keane. His career is very, very young.
Treble 17 leaves the bullseye. Oh, it's wonderful. It is right in the middle. What were you just saying then? An extraordinary young man, Nico. And that was an extraordinary checkout.
He truly is. What a shot that is from Keane. That is maybe the best bullseye you will see location-wise
60
this season. That was smack in the middle. He might be someone who could potentially do it.
105.
But don't discount the possibility of Keane being in his way at some point. This has been a spectacular performance. But the game's still alive. It's still alive. Double 13. Oh,
Game
boy,
shot.
that's brilliant from Wilson. Defiance from the Jammy Dodger.
Absolutely no exchange of eye contact between both players.
Yeah, no fist pump on the 161. He doesn't get one back for the 146. This is just a dust-up right now in an alley behind the Metrodome. Whatever Keane does here, he will have to hold his breath and hope that Wilson does not take that 1-2-1.
60.
The bullseye was hit perfectly by Keane on a 1-6-1 earlier. Can Wilson do the same?
He might, you know. Bullseye for James Wilson. And he
88.
can't win the match. And James Wilson knows what a huge missed opportunity that is. 1-1-6 for Keane Barry. Just below. Not above. And
60.
Wilson will get another chance. He's got to tidy this up. 1 for double 16 is the likely route.
Oh, he's going south. 17 for double 8. And he
Game
wins the
shot
match
and
from
the match.
5-2 down. Keane Barry was mega impressive when he was 2-0 down. But that topsy-turvy game, which is won by James Wilson by 6 legs to 5, with very decent doubling and very impressive scoring.
So Scott waits to break the throw and to have the darts for victory. 11 or treble. Double 14.
93.
Just outside.
Come on, George, you've got to be killer here. Interesting.
94.
He is very good with the maths. I'm not sure many people would have thought of that route. It almost paid off.
22.
I'll tell you one thing. If George has thought there, I'm going to go for this shot. And if Scott's watching this, if I can just get into his head just for 3 seconds, maybe it did pay off. Maybe he's thinking, well, why did he go that route?
Double 4 now.
13.
So Scott waits, gets a reprieve.
Game shot.
And he takes it. Double 3. Bottom of the board. One of the more difficult doubles to aim for, but Scott Waits made that look a piece of cake. The improved players over the year, and Closer and Sagansky.
Isn't it good to see as well? Some
100.
people who don't have the greatest starts of the season, but then they do improve towards the business end. Now, I just wonder if Scott Waits is needing a bit of a timeout in this game and using the benefit of
96.
this cushion that he gave himself, because he was in shell-shock territory when he was missing multiple darts for the match at multiple doubles.
180.
But George, he's knocking on your door again. Best get rid of this.
12 for tops. This rescued him last time.
32.
It doesn't on this occasion. And Scott waits to seal a 6-3 victory. And he does get his revenge for Hildesheim last weekend. Scott Waits, a 6-3 winner against George Killington. No 9-dart heroics this time, but he won't mind because he's got the job done.
$100.
Heta might be slight favourite for this leg, even though it is a big outshot. It's been made much easier now. Double 10.
120.
Tops.
94.
They offer no guide whatsoever.
Game shot.
Not that he needed it. Clutch doubling from Damon Heta. Yet another break of throw. It's been that sort of contest. Doesn't need to go for the ball, but goes for it anyway.
Game shot and the match.
And Damon Heta takes out 1-2-4 on the bullseye. It is a 6-4 victory in what was another really, really good contest. Both players averaging around about the ton mark. Damon Heta, the Australian #1, not happy with something. He holds his hand up. And the usually very jocular Alan Suter looks absolutely furious. Creative use of the board there. Wow, that's well inside. Dragged that horribly, did Karel Sedlacek. Is this another leg that's going to be ended in a 7th visit? We need an 8th. It's another bounce out. Vladimir Anderson must feel cursed right now. Double 2.
1.
It is an edgy, nervy game, this. It's for a break back.
Game shot.
He lands it top corner. It will do. This will be one of the last first round games to finish. Wesley Pleisier and Jeffrey Sparadans are locked at 5-all. Martijn Kleermaker 5-3 up against Danny Jansen, and Ross Montgomery is leading Darius Labanauskas 5-3. Round 2, Florian Hempel 5-1 up against Richie Burnett. Jules Van Dongen 4-3 against Ricky Evans.
135.
Maximum would give him a fighting chance. 140 would do.
100.
To end with a flourish, a potential 11 darter. Sedlacek wants double 16.
Game shot.
And he gets it. It is a real moment of quality to end what was a pretty mediocre contest. Neither player could get into any sort of rhythm, but it is Karel Sedlacek who prevails. Not a game to write home about. Plenty of missed darts at a double. Not too great on the scoring phase either. In a bit of trouble. 4-3 down against Dom Taylor, who's decided to have a go at the darts today.
And Clemens has just gone, the German #1, beaten by Robert Owen. Losing that one by 6 legs to 5.
$100. $98.
And this doesn't need to go, but Waits might want to lay down a marker. He's not going to get the opportunity. He wants to tidy it up.
95.
It's a good last dart. Gets him down to a manageable 2-dart combo.
$95.
Well, I'm not sure that makes a great deal of sense. Could have gone to the bullseye there, James Wilson, but went to the 15s. And that leaves double 18.
Game shot.
And double 18 is tending to work a little bit more reliably than the double 16 for Scott Waits, but what you can rely on in this game is that... And, of course, it was Dimitri van den Bergh he beat yesterday in the second round, and we know how that turned out.
100.
Yeah, he's fancying the double, I think, this weekend.
Guaranteed a Yorkshireman through to round 3 from this game, of course. Huddersfield's James Wilson and Halifax Scott Waits. But Yorkshire's number 1, Joe Cullen, is, well, he's barely turned up in his second round game. He's 3-0 down to James Hurrell, another non-tour card holder, who's here making up the numbers today and doing more than just making up the numbers. Well, this is a leg where Wilson could well be the first to a finish, or first to a double for the first time in the match. And he will be.
130.
Double 18 to keep his hopes alive.
Game shot.
And he does exactly that. It's just a hold of throw, but prolongs the contest a little bit longer.
101. $57. 140.
Order being restored here. Scott Waits getting back to the position he's been in all game, where he's outscoring his opponent. However,
140.
the biscuit hits back.
$100.
Does have a tendency to sometimes lead into that third dart, but it's effective enough.
121.
He does throw these quite small, thin darts, Scott Waits. A bit chunkier than they used to be, but he does, well, they go in, he feels like he can get over the top or underneath them, and sometimes you feel like he is physically jumping to get over the top of them.
59.
84 then to seal the deal. It might only be one dart at the bullseye. 14 or treble. The bull. Scott Waits pins it right in the middle. And he prevails in the battle of the two experienced Yorkshiremen. A deserved victory for Scott Waits.
The darts he's had, and maybe he'll get that bit of luck that could see him go and defend that title in Dortmund.
71.
Yeah, there's only so many times you can lose with big averages before your luck does start to turn.
You know, something changes. Either your form changes or the results change.
140.
And Ross Smith has shown no sign of his form change. If anything, it might be getting better.
54.
Straight at double 12, and Damon Heta is 3-0 up, and Karol Sedlacek nowhere near really in the first three legs. 152 then. Not going to go.
100.
And for back-to-back legs.
40.
Two darts missed, and Damon Heta allowed back to the board, and that might be the end of the fight back.
Heta has no such problem on double 8. Karol Sedlacek instantly broken back, and Damon Heta is cantering towards the finish line.
$59.
Martin Schindler has completed his victory over Ronnie Hybrex. 6 legs to 0. The average dropping by a good 10 points or so.
60.
So falling over the line, but Shindy getting it done without losing a leg.
96.
Sedlacek continues to chip away, but while he's using a pickaxe, Damon Heta has some sort of powered pneumatic drill.
140.
Just doing much more damage.
$99.
This to end the match. It's no disaster. 18 for tops. And Damon Heta does get the job done. Another rock-solid performance from the Aussie #1. In truth, Karol Sedlacek offered barely any threat throughout the contest. A simple enough victory for Damon Heta. I mean, just look at the disparity in the averages. 20 points, that is a bridge. That is very, very rarely, if ever, gapped.
It's off a cliff after the opening leg.
Oh,
that's a nice adjustment, that, after a poor first dart. Single 17 leaves tops. Double top for 2-1.
97.
Misses a chance to break the Heta throw. Treble 18 for double. Oh, that is some save from Damon Heta. The scoring may have gone missing for the last couple of legs, but the finishing remains excellent. Big missed chance there for Scott Waits.
140.
Ross Smith, the European champion, has hit a 9-darter today. Did so in his second round match. It's another 9-darter here in Barnsley this week. Got the next best prize. Ooh. Needed the treble 20, and then he'd have been back down the bottom of the board.
Game shot.
One just outside, one in. Means that Scott Waits has a third leg to his name, but Damon Heta gets the first of 2 chances. 54-32, job done. I'll stay on the 18s. And that leaves double 7.
79.
And the wire moved. Scott Waits right now remains unmoved. Is it double-double? No, it wasn't. And it wasn't the treble he required either. 59. So Damon Heta. Big fat 3 and a double 2. It's another very solid display from the Aussie #1. He is playing some consistent and high quality darts today, and it was too consistent, too high quality for Scott Waits, who scowls his way out of the tournament. And the Aussie #1 will take on the German #2. Well, there's no doubt about who the better player in this game is, and it's not the 5-time world champion.
60.
Can he make it count, though?
$30.
Coming unstuck on tops and 10s again. Can Barney get himself into the lead? Not in this visit, he won't.
99. Game shot.
Splits it. Hits it, no bother. Radek Zagansky, who... from Barney.
60.
Great dart, leaves tops.
100.
He's short on it. And as we've seen, can get awkward. Double 10 and then to double 5. But Zagansky's struggling to get to anything. In fact, he's not down to a finish.
Game shot.
14 darter. Best we've seen from Raymond van Barneveld in this match so far.
132. 40. 76. 52.
Just the 52. Sagansky starts on the 19s. 5 of them gets him to a finish.
95.
That's exactly what he gets.
$85.
He might get 2 visits from here. Might only need the 1. Bullseye for a 170. Oh, Radek Zagansky. He keeps on doing the improbable. Our champion yesterday. And the man from Cork pins the bullseye against Raymond van Barneveld
140.
to break throw and level the game. What a shot. Oh, Radek. There's no quit in this lad. 180 to leave, double 14. Barney knows he must take this, and he's needed more than 1 dart at tops usually in this game. He doesn't even get 1 this time. And you can see on his face how frustrated he is because the chance might have gone.
Game shot.
Brilliant stuff from Radek Zagansky. Yesterday's champion is still going here. He has the darts. But after 4 consecutive breaks of throw, can he stop that pattern?
$140.
Raymond van Barneveld is going to give himself a chance.
$60.
And Zagansky is not close enough, you would think. Bullseye for Barney to win it. And Raymond van Barneveld does win it. It was a game of 2 halves. The first 6 legs all went with throw. The last 5 legs all went against throw. Radek Zagansky can make a very solid claim that he was the better player throughout that contest. But Raymond van Barneveld delivered when it mattered. He had a lower average. He was better on the doubles. Zagansky missing far too many averages. Must have been incredibly frustrating.
96.
But Ross Smith has continually done it all year. Every single tournament, it seems, Ross Smith is going
43.
out. Not early, but earlier than you would think for a bloke playing the standard of darts he's been playing. He does have 1 title to his name this year, one of these Players' Championship events.
140.
But he could easily have won more.
If they were easy to win, everybody would get 1.
59.
He's one of those players who gradually ticks over with wins. Since he got his first one, he's picked up a major and another win on the floor. He's also picked up a 3-1 lead here, courtesy of that 12 darter and a re-break. He could potentially go on one of those purple patches that Michael Smith had.
Still got his nose in front in this leg. And he chucks in a 180 to leave himself on double 15. I don't mind it.
$100.
An out of rhythm ton there from Ross. And the double 15 is taken immediately. So whether you agree or not with leaving 30, he takes 210 points in 4 darts.
Well, this is what scoring power does to you. Not only does it make the game easier because you're ahead of your opponent, but it on the setup play, it allows you to go whatever routes you want. I mean, this isn't the route he wanted.
95.
But he's not having to go for bullseyes. And if you're not doing that, then things become really straightforward. Set it up, take it out. Set it up, take it out. Next leg, next leg, next leg, next match.
The last two words you've just said, Dan, might be what's on his mind. He wants to leave either double 6 or double 16. Double 16 it is.
$40.
He might be back, but Evans, who is one of the better players in comebacks, still has a chance. Double top.
70.
If that goes in, you just never know. But now, it might be time for the curtain to come down on Ricky's week.
Double 8.
Game
And that's
shot
it for
and
Rapid
time.
Ricky Evans. Ross Smith, the European champion.
Treble 19. Missed, so no shot at double 14 to double the lead.
124.
Mansell will surely go for treble 8 here. He's always been about tops and tens. One shot.
44.
How many will Damon get? Should be 2. Double 8 once again. And he gets it quicker this time for the break of throw. Motoring here is Damon Heta. This is a drastic reduction in output from both players from what they've done today to now.
180.
With that maximum, flips the script a little bit. He gets to the 2 data. He's now on 13 maximums for the day to Mickey's 10. And if he finds 98 more, it will be a double break. Double 19, he's got to be aggressive this time. That's a wonderful shot. He has got Mansell exactly where he wants him. Two Players Championships and one on the European Tour, which was in Stuttgart in the middle of last year.
90.
Everyone has been won by Damon since that first game. In fact, they played very recently at Players Championship 23 here. But that was in the last 64, which is the second round.
59.
That one was comfortable for Damon, winning by 6 legs to 3. And this one is fast becoming comfortable.
63.
He leaves double 4 again. Mansell just hasn't had in his arsenal what he requires in this game.
85.
If you'd have said to him that Damon was going to put in this kind of performance, Mickey would have said, I can beat that. But he's not beating him. He's on the verge of elimination. And it could be Damon who doubles his money and further strengthens his position in the Pro Tour Order of Merit for the start of next season. It's players like Damon. He is now the second most successful Australian in PDC history. He would further strengthen that
100
with a win today. He's 84 points away from another final. The bullseye to end it.
51.
And Mansell has one more chance, because you don't envisage Damon missing 33, because that could well be double 16, which is his favourite double. 1 dot left. And his skin is saved for now. At worst, make him work for it. That's what Mickey will be saying right now. More 180s. Higher average. And way more shots at double than the Australian.
180.
Sees Mickey hit back. But it might not mean anything. Damon's won at almost
60.
every level in PDC darts in his first 4 seasons as a pro. He's won at this level. He's won on the European Tour in Gibraltar. And because we don't go back to Gibraltar, he may forever be known as the Gibraltar Darts Trophy champion.
60.
He's won on the World Series. That was the start for him, and he's won a World Cup. The only thing missing is a ranked major title. But he is in the final today. He was too good for Mickey Mansell on this occasion. Mickey will be very philosophical about today. £4,000 in ranking money means he has done his job in getting into a World Championship and Players Championship final spot. But he doesn't make the final. That is for Damon Heta to contest. Yeah, I think a consistent pace. You're not going to be rushed. You're not going to be held up. They're very similar in their
96
time at the Oki. Judging by the way they address each and every dart and the way they retrieve and get to the back of the cubicle again. Very similar paces. And ordinarily, I would say it would suit both players, but judging by the head-to-head record, it seems to suit Ross even more. A double 14 for a 2-1 lead.
Game shot.
Oh, that's a nice little knock-in, isn't it? Hitting the middle stump via the off stump. I think the ability to evolve is huge in dart players at the minute. Diet, rest, recovery. How you practice, when you practice. You're talking about 2 players in this final who have looked under every single rock in the last couple of years as to how to get better. Damon needs double 16, which is his favourite double. And particularly on the end of a combination, there's nobody better in the world, apart from possibly Johnny Clayton, rather invincible going into your challenge.
Yeah, I'm sure when Ross Smith arrives in Dortmund, he'll feel 10 foot tall. He'll be strutting around thinking, I am the defending champion. And I mentioned it to Dan Dawson in the semi-final. I don't think you can underestimate just how difficult a run that was for Ross Smith.
59.
He looked beaten by Peter Wright in the semis. He managed to recover.
What I can tell you is that they don't even start in the European Championship until Friday. Ross Smith, the defending champion, will have the last first-round game on Friday night. So he's got a full 6 days to get ready. Oh boy. Just for a minute, he thought there was enough room for another one in that 57. Smith can't miss this.
Game shot.
Finds it right in the bottom. When that left his hand, he probably thought it was in double 10. Watch his face here. Damon Heta's got Kian Van Veen on Friday night in the very first game, which I actually think is a really good draw time-wise. I think you want to be on first. You want to know exactly when you're going to be on. But as far as Ross Smith's concerned, he's going to be on late. That's interesting. This is a very difficult out. That was a measured gamble from Ross, and this time he's not burnt.
91.
Yeah, it was a bit of a surprise, but 1-3-1, as you mentioned, is tricky, and Smith does win leg number 8 of this final.
Yes, a difficult number to take out, 1-3-1, because you need treble 20, treble 13, a double 16, or a different route, of course. But we did see in a final this week a 1-3-1 taken by Ryan Joyce. Grabbed the microphone for the referee and said down our feed that he hopes that we were listening, and he said Tim Tams are better than Penguins. And we did hear it, Damon. Don't worry, Damo, I'm on your side.
58.
I've never had one, so I wouldn't know.
We'll fix that. Just like Ross Smith's trying to fix this situation. First job, 56. Get to 6-4, then try and work on 6-5. Like I was saying in the last leg, 6-6, anything's possible.
140. Game shot.
6-4 it is. He breaks, he holds, it's level. If he doesn't do either of those things,
60.
Damon Heta either gets within one or can win the match in the next two legs.
$140.
He beat Anderson 8-6 in Players' Championship 5 this year. He beat Dolan in 2021 by 8 legs to 4.
97.
When he lost those two finals to Michael Smith, he wasn't in a last leg decider either. Could this be the closest final that Ross has ever been a part of?
174.
He has hit a perfect leg already today.
60.
Come on, Ross. 2 9-darters in a day. Too much to ask for right now, but I tell you what. This is how much he's bothered about that 9-darter. 0.
100.
He's happier about the fact that he's got a massive lead of almost 300 points to get level in the final.
100.
Is this a momentum shift?
Game
Best
shot.
of 3 from here, like it was in the semis for Ross. He came through that tussle, but he's up against someone who has done this before, not someone who doesn't have a tour card.
104.
He's beaten Ricky Evans today.
133.
Had a little bit of an omen 10 years on. And interestingly, when he was in his second final, which he lost to Graham Hall in that final.
180.
And Graham Hall lost in the very first game on stream 2 today to Kim Huybrechts. 57 for Bull. That would have been hurtful to Smith.
104.
But now, with Damon on double 14, this would be hurtful to the Aussie.
$16 or treble. It'll be one dart at the bullseye. And Ross Smith plants it right in the middle to take the darts for what could potentially be a title-winning leg.
That is one of the best bullseyes we've seen today, if not this week.
Thinking he had this final in the palm of his hands. He has lost control of it.
But
is he back in it?
180.
Correction, he is regaining a semblance of control, at least in this leg.
For how long? Not long.
140.
What has Ross Smith got in his locker that Damon can't handle? He's going for an 8th consecutive win against Heta.
42.
And he's 81 points away from his second Players' Championship win of the year. It might be the Bull again, but he's not going to use it. It's double 18.
And Ross Smith misses the first title dart. Damon Heta isn't on a finish. Ross Smith will have really wanted to miss outside rather than in. Doesn't want to be faffing on double 9. He
100.
might opt to split this. Straight to double 9. And Ross Smith wins his second Players' Championship event of the year, his third in total, and he absolutely blitzed his way through from 6-3 down. Ross Smith wins 5 legs in a row. The defending European champion will head to Dortmund as the last winner of a Players' Championship event.